Hi guys, Black Widow here. Okay, what I want to do today is I want to give you a quick tutorial on how to make really nice railway lines using the Sharp Junction Angles mod. Now, this is a city obviously that I've been using to show you guys a few of the assets that I've created, so I'm just going to continue within this and show you guys how to quickly make some nice railway connections that will look realistic. And I'll show you guys how to get around some issues. Now, what I've done is I've already worked on this map. This is a map called Delta Range, which I've been working on in my spare time. I've been adding details to it, and if you guys are wondering about the map anyway, and I've added flux trances, rhinestone theme to it. I think it makes the map look really nice, and I've changed it to a tropical kind of theme. So, just in case you guys are wondering what map I'm using. So, anyway, let's get to it. Right, so first things first, say you've got a train station. I'm just going to add any one, just it looks quite nice. I'll just add that one. Right. So, you've now got your train station. If you guys are wondering why this looks different, I've got the one-way train lines mod. So just ignore that for now. Just click on your regular train track. Now, say I want to connect this across the bridge. So what I'll do is I'm just going to create a railway line that just goes along here like so, across there. And what I'll do is I'll just make a quick bridge connection across the river. There. Right, okay, so I want to make a nice smooth connection to this. So what I'll do is I'll just choose this. Get that to go around a nice smooth curve, and hopefully it should connect nicely, like so. Right, okay, so you guys can see I've connected it nice and smoothly. Now what happens is these railway, the overhead cables and the catenaries, what happens is whenever you connect it, say I'm doing this. So with Sharp Junctions Angle mod, let me just move my no pillars, you can see at the bottom left of the screen, whenever you're building something, you can see anarchy is turned off. Anarchy basically allows you to build within something that you usually wouldn't be able to do. So for instance, in vanilla game, I think that's pretty much the limit of what you can do in terms of making the railway line split from the other one. But with anarchy turned on, you'll see this bird at the top changes. So if I do Control and A, it changes that, and you can see at the bottom left, anarchy is now turned on. So now I can make changes to a railway line like so. Like for instance, with anarchy off, that is not possible. So anarchy is now on. And what I'll do is, at the bottom left you can also see that bending is on and segment snapping is on. So segment snapping, it snaps to those points. If I do Control and S, segment snapping is now off, and you can actually connect it to anywhere within that railway line. Now this is quite useful if you want to make really fine-tuned connections. So I'll turn snapping on for now, and bending, what bending does is, see how the track basically automatically bends. It's kind of frustrating sometimes if you want a really sharp connection. Like, I'll turn bending off and show you. So now I can click that as a reference point, and I can basically move from there, and it bends nice and smoothly in this direction. Instead of it snapping to a point and having to do this or that, I can actually bend it over there. So what I'll do now is I'll create a railway line that comes out like that. Right. So as you can see, this is kind of the tutorial that I want to show you guys how to solve this. It's kind of hit and miss sometimes, but you can get it so that it works perfectly. See how that catenary is on the railway line. Now this is the one thing that's frustrating with this mod, but if I delete this segment, connect another railway line from there and drag it out, as you can see the catenary has disappeared now and it's moved location to there. So what you want to do is you want to create a railway line like you've got, and then what you do is you basically delete the junction that you've created. So I'll connect that again and show you guys what I mean. Make a nice curve into the railway line. Cool. Okay, so you've decided you want a junction coming off over here, but you want it to be nice and smooth, maybe heading off in that direction. So as you can see, this time it kind of freaks out a little bit. So at the moment it doesn't even matter. But let's try something like this. Maybe it won't do it this time. Right. Okay. So that's an example of when it works. When it does it without you wanting it to. Say for instance, I want the connection to come in like that. Right. So you've tried to get the connection to come in at an angle, but you've dragged it from the other direction, and it's kind of put a catenary across that railway line and over here. So what you do is, don't delete the one you've just created. Delete the ones that are connected to it. So delete the original one, and then drag away from the connection. That was always the catenary from this one. Then I'll click on this and connect it. Let's see. Right. So it's replaced the catenary, but it's placed it over there. Let's try it one more time. Delete that. Okay, so that's a bit better. I've connected it from there up to that point. So you kind of need to play around with it a little bit, because sometimes it freaks out. So if I delete that, create a point to there. So you can see what I mean. It's quite frustrating sometimes, and it keeps moving it around. So okay, we're getting better now. This is getting a bit better. So let's make that connection go in that direction. So, I mean, there is a way of fixing it. Just so you know, it is possible to be fixed. There you go. So what I've done is, I created a junction point from, don't leave it like, say for instance I'm dragging out a track piece, like so, and the catenary is over that track, and it frustrates you a little bit. Don't leave this and then try and delete it, because then you have to redo it again. Drag another line off of it, so that node is still there. I mean, you could always change that, but then what you do is, you drag it in the other direction, and it kind of sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. You just have to keep playing around with it. Create a track and drag it away. There we go. Okay, so now at least you're left with one. Delete that segment again, one more time, and try dragging it. There you go. So as you can see now, there aren't any catenaries there. I mean, what you can then do is you can go into, if you have more beautification turned on, you can find catenaries. So now I've found my catenary, and I can place custom ones with the Prop Anarchy mod. So I can place my own ones there, just to make it look a bit realistic. So if you play around with it, you can actually delete the catenaries that are there, or the existing ones. If you really try and play around with it, I mean, it is possible to do. And you can place your own ones like so. And then that kind of fills in the gaps. So I mean, you would be able to do that. So as you can see, that looks a lot better now. And you can also have the smooth transitions. Especially now with the problem that a lot of people are having, where these train tracks are basically corrupting save games. So you'll see a lot of the popular YouTubers have decided to remove all the tracks from the extra, I think it's the extra train tracks mod. Mainly because it's probably not going to be kept up to date, so there is a chance it can corrupt save games. Yeah, so as you can see, there is a way of removing that problem. So what I'll do is, I'll just do it one more time, run it through, and show you guys how easy it is to do from fresh. Right, so I'm just gonna quickly connect that segment snapping on. And what I want to do now is I want to have a really smooth exit going in that direction. Okay, so in this instance, it's not created a problem. The catenaries are not over each other or whatever. Let's try one more time. Let's say I wanted to go this direction. Once again, it's not created an issue, which is fine. So to minimize the issue, I always tend to drag away, not drag into. What I mean by drag away is drag in this direction rather than click here and drag into this track like that. And that's when you seem to have the problem. That's when it seems to create the issue. So always place your tracks, pull them off of the track that you're building from. And that seems to minimize the catenaries appearing over the tracks. So anyway guys, I hope this has helped quite a few people. It's frustrating because a lot of people think that you're not able to use the Sharp Junction Angles mod with railway lines because it does this issue. But as you can see, just by replacing, just by being patient, you need to be patient and just be willing to just keep trying, and you'll eventually get a situation where there are not any catenaries on the junction at all. Like they'll be further away. So I hope this has helped you guys, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye bye.